Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome back to the Fumble Live. We've got a lot to talk about today, and you see that headline. LiAngelo's out here putting in the work. Is it going to amount to anything is the question. Plus, we have to address these Kyrie has to stay with the Nets or he will retire rumors. But before we all do all that, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. Give this video a thumbs up. Share it with your friends. And now let's introduce the Fumble Squad. I'm your host, Jackie Ray. You can follow me on all things social media at JRay the Fanatic.
It's your boy Chris. You can find me anywhere at CK2K. Jackie Ray, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. We're one day closer to Thursday. I will admit I had a slight snafu. I woke up this
Thursday,
morning.
Jackie.
I mean Friday. Right. See, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was Friday. I woke up this morning and I was like, "Ooh, tomorrow is the weekend." And then my alarm went off for something I had to do this morning. I'm like, "Wait, that's on Thursday. Dang it!"
Yeah, your alarm said, "No, the hell, it's not." You're like, "Dang, you threw the alarm out the window."
Like what? My mind was just like, "I'm done. It's the weekend." But we here. We ready to do this. We got a lot of stuff to get into. There is something that Chris and I both mutually love to see coming up in the post up. Neither one of us have watched it, so we can watch it authentically. Yes. You guys, I'm so excited. I see Mike Glock. He's talking about Kyrie. Make sure you check out the stand-up that we talked about earlier this morning about him with the anti-maskers thing. We're going to get into another Kyrie situation with this first need-to-know news situation. Kyrie, I mean, he lives rent-free in damn near everyone. And I love it because he doesn't really, sometimes he does bring it on himself, but he doesn't really be out here saying a whole lot. He just kind of does his thing and goes about his way. But nonetheless, he's the topic of a lot of attention. And I think Nick Wright, though, might be spinning his own narrative with this one. But he basically, I want you to see this tweet. He says, some NBA news. There are a handful of Kyrie trades that potentially make sense for the Nets. Kyrie's agents have made it known that Kyrie would simply retire from the NBA if Brooklyn were to trade him. Now, before we get into some of these other tweets, I want to kind of break this down a little bit because he, at one point, this was a quote that he made. He says, "I know this won't happen, but as someone who has shortened the stock of the Nets and been right, telling you right now, Ben for Kyrie, if personalities weren't a thing basketball-wise, makes so much sense for Brooklyn. It makes them an overwhelming favorite in the East." And he says overwhelming favorite overall if they pick up Ben Simmons. That's what he said. That's not what anyone in Kyrie's camp said. That's not what anyone on the Nets said. He was saying, I think this won't happen, but it should. And then, like a few days later, now he's saying that this is an actual thing and that Kyrie knows about it and he would rather retire if if he was in these trades. Kyrie responded to this. I'm going to show you the two responses. First, he posted this on his Instagram, which says, "I'll never take a God-given talent for granted. There is more to this journey." So I think this is basically him saying that, bro, there's no way I would retire off of one thing like this. This is a talent, and it's a journey, obviously. And then he actually responded directly to Nick Wright and basically called him a puppet. I 100% agree with this. I don't think that this is something that's even a narrative.
Okay.
What'd you say?
No, I didn't know if you're gonna agree or not, but yeah, okay, no, continue.
I don't think that Kyrie is that type of guy. I don't think that he would retire if this happened. Then not only that, I don't think this is a narrative that's even in the works. I don't think it would make sense. Right. I don't think in my world you'd have to be completely crazy if you swapped Kyrie. I think Kyrie is more talented than Ben. I know that a lot of people are going to get mad, but Kyrie has proven that he's not going to be afraid to take those shots. He's not going to be afraid to create those shots. I don't think you trade a guy like that for a guy that still needs to get over this mental block. That just doesn't make sense to me. So I don't think it's a thing. But Chris, why do you think Nick would even put this out there in the atmosphere?
Because he's an even more extreme LeBron James fan than you are. And I feel like ever since the LeBron James, Kyrie Irving breakup, he loves to make these kind of narratives that are against Kyrie Irving. Anytime Kyrie Irving does anything outrageous or does anything that he feels is crazy, you hear Nick Wright right around the corner ready to say something. And this is another one of those rumors that he just pounced on that, like you just put so perfectly, has no legs. There's no legs to this. Why the hell would the Brooklyn Nets trade a guy who pioneered the reason why they have so many players on this team? I may not like them, but Kyrie Irving is there for a reason. He wants to be there. And this rumor about him retiring if they trade him, that's a bit over dramatic, even for Kyrie Irving. I have there's a spot for me where I feel a bit for Kyrie Irving, because ever since the flat earth thing, I feel like people over embellish a lot of his thoughts and beliefs a little bit too much, because if he can believe that the earth is flat, then he's got to be absolutely insane, and he's nothing but drama. And I think that that's crazy, because Kyrie Irving is probably one of the most giving NBA athletes, or athletes in the world, that we have in our generation, as far as giving back to communities, giving back to, the man spent a whole offseason learning his roots, and now is really entwined with, excuse me, I do not know the name of his tribe, the tribe that he's from and whatnot, but he puts a lot of work and a lot of money back into the people that he is finding out that he's connected to. So I was part of the jokes when it comes to Kyrie Irving a lot of the time, but then I feel like it got too far, and I feel like anytime something like this comes up, people like Nick Wright jump on the opportunity to then put some dirt on Kyrie Irving's name, which is absolutely absurd to me. This one had no legs. No one was talking about this. This is not breaking news. This is you trying to make a story and try to be first about something that's absolutely not true. So, yeah, I think Nick Wright is completely, in the words of Kyrie Irving, he's definitely a puppet of the situation, because he's trying to get the likes. He's trying to get the clicks. And I think, like you mentioned, a lot of us are seeing that there's nothing there. There's no truth to this. It's not going to happen. It'd be nice in a 2K world. Kyrie on the Sixers would be dope, but it's not happening. He has a great opportunity with the Brooklyn Nets, and I think he's going to be just fine where he's at. So yeah, I don't like Nick Wright on this one. I'm not a big fan of Nick Wright in general, so whatever.
I mean, I like Nick Wright. I just think that in this,
and that's why I got surprised. I was like, but yeah, no, yeah, okay. I know you and Nick Wright love you from LeBron James, so I wasn't sure, but yeah.
Here's the big difference between Nick Wright and I love Kyrie. And there was a moment when I was mad at Kyrie, and that was when he was sitting on the sideline in Cleveland and he was crying instead of going out there and doing his job. LeBron has since forgiven Kyrie. Thereby, if you are a true LeBron fan, you must also forgive Kyrie. You can't be mad at somebody LeBron is not mad at if you're a LeBron fan. That's just me. On top of that, I do really love and appreciate what Kyrie does on the floor. So it's hard for me to just stay into that narrative, that negative Nancy narrative around Kyrie. There's things that he does that I absolutely love. I love his spirituality. I love that he's always reading books. He's a likable guy. It would be hard for me to stay
smart
on this
kid,
train.
Man.
Very
different, and he's willing to take some risks for sure. But he, like you said, he does the research on a lot of the stuff, and sometimes he might listen to YouTube a little too much, hence the flat earth thing. But he wants to learn about the stuff, and I like I said, I got a lot of respect for him off the court, and I love him on the court too. The only thing I hate about him is that damn jersey he's wearing. That's literally all I got for Kyrie Irving that I can't stand. That stupid jersey.
I don't want you to hate on him too much about the whole flat earth thing, because you also don't think that water is wet, sir. I don't want no arguments. I'm not gonna.
That is not the same at all. At all. At all. Oh my God. That is not the same thing.
I said what I said.
Oh my God.
Are you glad? Are you glad that Kyrie called him out, or do you think that this was one of those things that he could have just let it ride?
It's just on brand for that team, man. And to be honest, because of something like this, like I said, like people just take any opportunity to drag this dude's name. So hell yeah, go and defend your damn self, Kyrie. I'm all about that. Like, it's one thing if it's like a small issue. Now, this man's talking about him possibly being traded and him possibly retiring. Man, go ahead and drag his name through the mud. We all know what it is. So yeah, I have no problem with something like this. And he kept it simple. It wasn't anything petty. And he went straight at Nick Wright. It wasn't like he was going after little 50 followed Twitter accounts. He went straight at Nick Wright. So by all means, man, speak your piece, man.
So there was also this other thing where he had tweeted, I'm taking off my mask, take off your mask, no fear. Which, if you know who Kyrie is, he's basically talking about people walking around here being super fake. And he's posted on his Twitter before, just be you. And so some people thought that maybe that puppet thing was kind of addressing that as well, or maybe that his post on his Instagram for him saying, I would never take this God-given talent for granted. Maybe he was saying, I'm not telling you guys not to wear a mask. Do you think that maybe it was a double, like, let me get him from both angles with these two posts?
See, now you put it that way, it could be. I don't think so. I'm not going to co-sign it. I think he was directly talking about Nick Wright on what it is, but I mean, it could be though. That's an angle I didn't even think about. It definitely could.
Yeah, I mean, he addressed that though, so I don't know. I think he's very, like we said, he's very intelligent. So I think he's also methodical with some of his tweets. So I think that he addressed Nick, and then he addressed the mask thing separately. So shouts out to Kyrie for living rent free. Nick, do better. LeBron is forgiven, and he is mentally talented. And like Chris said, he's the one that basically was instrumental in building the Brooklyn Nets that we know now. Leave that man alone. So I'm gonna leave that there. Let's move on to this next one, because this next one should be a lot of fun. Because I think, you gotta laugh at yourself sometimes. And Dennis Schroder needs to laugh at himself. I don't know if it's funny, but first of all,
okay,
if you have time, I didn't post all the pictures of these cars, though. These cars are stupid. Okay, these cars are insane. Okay. Go to his Instagram, because I used to follow Dennis. I no longer follow him, so I didn't see these right away. But these cars are fire. But I love this whole image that he is portraying here. So he's outside of his cars. He's got the bags. And then he's basically talking about, okay, I fumbled the bag. I love that picture. Then he said this. So the 15th was his birthday. He turned 28. I thought this was so fitting that his birthday is on the 15th, because now with this contract, he's missing out on $15 million that he would have gotten in LA. I'm like, oh, that's so perfect. Won't karma just work out that way? But he says, I'm going to do this one time. Insert your best fumble the bag joke here. It's my birthday, so let's get this over with and get back to business. First of all, sir, yes, we're going to take this bait, but we are never going to not do this.
Right.
Just know that forever in your life, we're going to mention this. But he started off the party himself, and he posted a few that he had seen that he appreciated. I love this one. 84 million. No. 5.9. Okay. I like this one. And then this next one is Dennis Schroder thinking about that 84 million he rejected. Facts. I just don't know. I'm just like, how do you even make that make sense? I would have a hard time waking up every morning just knowing all the money that I left on the table. Like, damn, 15 million just out the door. But then I like this next one, because this one goes perfectly with the mask. But it's like, Dennis trying to be like, I'm okay with losing this money. And behind he's like, why? I absolutely love this one. That is definitely the one. But this is the one that the attitude that we all probably should have. I do not, though. It says, what I look like joking somebody for making $6 million in 1 year. I'm trying to make $250,000 this year, and I don't have time to hate on another man's bag when just a portion of his bag overshadows mine any damn way. Facts. I'm still shading though. So, what do you think? Is this one of those things where he's like, okay, I'm kicking myself, but I'm gonna just laugh at my pain right now, and I'm gonna give everybody an opportunity to just kick me while I'm down?
This is the type of play, like Dennis Schroder just became a player I like again. Like this is the attitude that you have with situations like this. Like you said, the meme ain't never gonna die. Sorry, Dennis, but it's gonna lessen the blow a little bit because you are willing to laugh at yourself. Like that last tweet just said, and like those pictures are showing, you still a damn millionaire. You got a Bugatti, you got a Rolls Royce, like you are good. But the point of the matter is, you could be a lot better than where you were at, and the jokes are there, and he realizes that, and he's able to laugh at himself. And there's so many routes that a lot of these athletes take. They get really soft in situations like this, and I remember Nerlens Noel was laughing at himself a while before my president got in his ear and I decided to sue Clutch. You know what I'm talking about? But so I'm always a fan of dudes being able to poke fun at themselves, knowing that they're going to be okay, and the internet's going to do what it does instead of combating it, going along with it, because it's going to, even though some of us are still going to meme it, it's going to lessen the blow, because unfortunately people are very cynical, and it's not funny when the meme is in on the joke, or the meme is in on the meme. You know what I mean? So I think he did himself a favor by doing this. So I applaud him. I'm with Dennis Schroder on this one. I like it.
So here was my question that I posed to some friends. If Dennis takes this $5.9 million a year, and then He goes out here and he does the damn thing as he did not do in LA when he turned down that contract. And then if he gets that $90 or $100 million contract next season, do we have to circle back? And I don't think it's going to happen. I'm just doing a what if.
Thank you.
But if it happens, but if that were to happen, would we circle back and say, okay, Dennis, you did the right thing?
That would be the ultimate meme buster right there. If it's not going, like you said, it ain't gonna happen. He's going to get a bag, a Dennis Schroder size bag, not no $100 million bag, because I think he's going to be a good fit for the Celtics because he fits what they need. And $5.9 million is, I don't care how you felt about Dennis Schroder as a Laker fan last year. Every Laker fan could say like he wasn't worth that. He's not that bad, but he's definitely not $100 million good. So he's going to get, I'm looking at like 50, maybe 60. It's going to be somewhere around that. And yeah, but if he gets 100 or gets 80 or 70 or anything around that range, that's going to be a meme buster because he's going to get the bag at the end eventually. Just it was a year late. So I think he'll be fine, but I don't expect that to happen. He's going to get paid, but he ain't going to get paid that much.
I mean, even if he gets a $60 million deal, that's still $24 million less than what you would have got if you would have signed here. So the meme will continue forever and ever. And now that you have pointed it out that September 15th is your birthday, just know that I'm petty enough to remember that date because that's the date that I remember you missed out on $15 million a year. So if I have to personally make this live on, I volunteer as tribute. I will do that. And you're welcome.
Down the petty horns.
Hey, I need that to be like a sound. Petty, activate. Yeah. So yeah, I'm ready for it.
I was like, petty.
The horn, not the horn. Oh my God. That is great. I love it. All right. That's a great way to get into the post up. So Chris, let's get into it.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to post up on this fine on this fine Thursday, Jackie, on this fine Thursday, not Friday, unfortunately.
Yeah, happened to you too. You too.
No, I'm ready for Friday to be here. I gotta be real before I get to post up Thursday. I'm really nervous about today. We're gonna talk about football a little bit later on in the show, but we got a game tonight with the Giants and the Washington football team, and I stupidly got 2 Giants players on my fantasy team, and I'm not looking forward to tonight. So I wish it was Friday as well, Jack. I wish we could just skip today because I already know it's not going to help out my fantasy team. But something I'm excited about and I got to witness in person was the LiAngelo Ball show. And look, man, I have been on this show. I've been on stand-ups. I've been on lives. I've been on my channel. I've been everywhere preaching for this kid to get a spot in the NBA because I don't believe I can go to anyone's favorite team and point at 2 or 3 players that are on roster that I bet you LiAngelo Ball can play better than. So I'm very excited that he's getting his opportunity with his brother in Charlotte. Hopefully, I mean, he's only on a Exhibit 10 deal, which is not a for sure deal yet, and he has to still prove himself. But he's right around the corner from being signed to the team. I got to witness him at the summer league. He did fine. He was the leading scorer for the Hornets for about 3 games, and then they started using him a little bit more. The ball went away from him, and that went away. So I'm a fan of LiAngelo Ball. I really feel like he can hoop. I feel like the meme is overblown. I think he can hoop. And with that being said, we got we got some workout tape. Now, you guys know, I don't care if it's my favorite player or my least favorite player. My mind is the same when it comes to workout tape. Okay, we got some nice footage here, LiAngelo Ball, that we can play in the background. We don't need the audio on this one, but you guys can see LiAngelo doing his thing, looking good, hitting shots that an NBA player should be hitting. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's dunking the ball. He's shooting it with effort. He's looking effortlessly. That thing is not even hitting the rim. The net's barely moving. It looks great. But when you're open in the gym, it's supposed to look like that. And like I said, I'm a big Jello fan, but I'm going to treat him the same way I would treat somebody that I don't like that's in an open gym. You got to make these shots. So I'm happy about this. So this doesn't sway my opinion one way or another. I think Jello's putting in the work. I'm excited for him. Look at the dunk right here. Even this, it's okay. Nice solid little dunk left-handed on the legs. Go do what you got to do, Jello. He's an NBA player. I believe it. But Jackie Ray, I know you've been very skeptical on him. You're the only ball brother you've been okay with is LaMelo. You've been skeptical on my boy Zoe. You've been skeptical on Jello. So seeing LiAngelo Ball, I don't know if you got to catch any highlights from the Summer League. You've seen these workouts. Do you feel like Jello is a proper NBA player, or do you think he is just getting that brother push and anything past that he's not really earning? Do you think that he actually deserves to be in the league?
So, I mean, I obviously, yes, you're right. The only one that I've actually been like, yep, that's a solid player is LaMelo. That's the only one. I mean, but I have to say, yes, I did see some highlights from his summer, and I was like, maybe I'm wrong. I felt like he looked pretty good. He looks like a basketball player. He's the only one to me that looks like a basketball player. LaMelo even looks like LaMelo looks like a a teenager that's probably gonna miss curfew. He just size wise
that snuck in the game,
right? Like, LiAngelo looks like a basketball player. So for me, he puts in the work. This isn't just a one-off where we're seeing this workout right now. He is constantly, if you're on his Instagram or whatever, he is constantly putting in the work. He is trying to prove himself. And I know people hate nepotism, but I'm not one of those people who minds it. If that's what you want, family should be able to do that. I get why it's a problem for us. It's because we haven't been given those opportunities. But trust and believe, if I'm on, my brother, my sister, whatever, has an opportunity to be on because I'm on. And that's how it's supposed to be. That's how family's supposed to be. So I think he should be able to get a shot just because that's kind of how this league works. I know people don't like that, but I would love to see him play. I would love to see all three Ball brothers in the league because that also validates LeVar and him pushing his sons to do what they wanted to do. LiAngelo is in the perfect position. Is if he doesn't really want to play ball. I know that's been the narrative too, like, oh, LeVar is making them play ball. LeVar is making them play ball. He is in the perfect position to bow out if that's not what he wants to do right now. This is clearly what he wants to do. He's putting in the work to do it. And I think that from what I've seen, there's no reason why he shouldn't be at least on a bench somewhere and given the opportunity to prove himself. 100%. So I think he deserves a shot.
Yeah, completely agree with that point. I definitely believe there are teams where he could be playing for. I'm looking at, like, even that same Hornets team, like, people, if you want to make that nepotism argument, they have both of the Martin twins, and there's only one Martin twin that's actually okay. So for one of them to even get a spot over LiAngelo Ball to me is crazy. Like you, I have no problem with nepotism as long as the person that is being helped is actually worth the damn job. We saw it with Seth Curry and Steph Curry. Seth got his start playing for Santa Cruz and the Warriors, and then as you can tell right now, he's one of the best shooting three-point shooters, and not just in the last few seasons, in the history of the game. In Seth Curry, the younger brother, not Steph. Seth Curry, they're both up there, but Seth Curry's even shooting better than his brother Steph Curry. Like, a lot of these guys earn those spots. Sometimes they don't. In Klay Thompson's brother, Michael Thompson, or Blake Griffin's brother, like some of them, sometimes they don't earn their spot. Chris Smith, a lot of Knicks fans, you guys remember him. A lot of those guys, a lot of times they don't. But if you are
the Antetokounmpo, there's literally only one.
There's one.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. But see, I can't talk because Thanasis, the older brother that's with Giannis, that man put up 28 against the Knicks. So I can't talk. He a hooper. You can play. Right. I got nothing, no trash, no shade to you, bro. You're a champion. You do your thing, Thanasis. I'm sorry, we drafted you. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. But the thing is, right. But that's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Well, go ahead. No, go ahead. I think we're saying the same thing. Go ahead. Go. I was just going to say, do something with the opportunity. That's all we're trying to get at. You can get the nepotism. That's fine. Get the opportunity, but do something with it. Don't just get it because your brother's in the league. And I don't think that this is the case with LiAngelo Ball at all. And, and people are saying, like, Lonzo couldn't help him in New Orleans. No, it's just two different situations. New Orleans was stacked with guards, so I don't think it would have worked there. The Hornets are only now turning into a good team, and they have the openings for a guy like LiAngelo Ball. It just made too much sense for them. So I'm hoping for him. Even if he doesn't make the big team, he's for sure going to be playing for the Swarm, the G League team, and I think he's an NBA player. I've seen enough. I think the hate is all a meme, and people are just going to jump on the meme rather than actually see him play. But you see him play, he can hoop. He's a good shooter. So I'm all about it.
Better on the G League because I think he's good now. I think he's going to get exponentially better, and then it's going to be that situation where he does earn his spot. I think he it's going to be an easier road for him once he's in that door. He just got to get in the door, and I'm glad that he's having that opportunity to get in the door. So I'm with it.
Yeah. Jeremiah Smith saying, and no, Seth does not shoot better than Steph. Look, Steph has the better shot, but percentage-wise, yes, Seth Curry is the better shooting Curry. I'm just look it up. I'm just saying, yes, Steph has the shot, and Steph's the one you want to shoot. But percentage-wise, younger brother got his older brother on top. I'm just saying, look it up. Look the stats up. Anyways, yeah, so shout out to Jello. Really hoping for him. Now we're going to take a shift over to football, and we're going to talk about Jackie's boy, Tom Brady. Now, Tom Brady, he makes a point, but then also turns into a social media manager all in one story. But he was talking about primarily, if we get the other one first, that one's funny. But if we get the post that you see, I'm pretty sure I sent it. Where Tom Brady basically he's talking about just how many rookies are in the league right now. I think, you know, as football fans, we see this, that there's so many rookies, especially at quarterback. Every team, it feels like, has a rookie quarterback that's either going to start or is going to back up. Even our Saints in a quarterback situation, Sean Payton's in love with the kid named, I don't remember his first name, but Book is his last name. He's a rookie. Every team has a rookie quarterback or a rookie wide receiver. That's their number one or number two option. And Tom Brady is just making the point that it wasn't like that. Before, it was, you know, the veterans every single year. You knew the names every single year. It seems like now it's new name every single season. And he said this quote, if we can get it up. I'm pretty sure I sent it. I'm sorry, Leo, if I didn't. I don't know. It's okay. But then we can just get the tweet up. I can just read it off of that. It's not a big deal. He said, if I can get, I have it on my other computer. We can get it up. No, you ain't gonna help me out. He said some basically. Okay, so I'll paraphrase. So basically, he was just saying that, you know, you see a lot of rookies in the league that now, you know, I was used to seeing the Peyton Mannings, the Drew Breeses, the Tom Brady's, and now it just seems like there's a lot of rookies. So people were kind of thinking that there was shade to that, but there's not really much shade to it because ESPN does what ESPN does. They only took that little bite and they posted that instead of putting up the entire podcast with the context of what he's talking about, which is a common situation in the league today. And Tom Brady had to, like I said, look, there's a picture, and then SportsCenter, Tom Brady out playing his era, blah, 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 blah. Tom Brady's like, apparently gone are the days of including the link to the show. So he's there playing social media manager for the podcast he was on. I think it was Let's Go. Oh, it's right there. It says Let's Go podcast. So, yeah, so like I said, I don't remember this many rookies playing. Gone are the days of Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Phil Rivers, blah, 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 basically what I was saying. So, no, there's no A. I just got one question for you, Jackie Ray. Do you agree that there's a lot of rookies in the league now, A? And B, do you think that it's mainly just because the talent isn't what it used to, and that's why there needs to be such an influx of rookies every single season because the guys that are being drafted before them are just not panning out?
I think there is an influx of rookies, and I think it's a problem with the way that teams are building their teams. I think back in the day, what you would have is you'd have this veteran quarterback that you knew was like 4 years away from retirement. Oh, there it is. I remember this many rookies playing. Gone are the days of Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Philip Rivers, Eli. You know, those are the guys I'm used to hearing about. And that's fact. And the thing is now is like sometimes, especially when you're talking about like diehard football fans like myself, a friend of mine and I, we were talking the other day and we were just like rattling off like, you know, quarterbacks and running backs and things of that nature. But there was some that was like, okay, where's that? He's on what team again? Like, because, you know, they're brand new. And so you're just not used to saying their names with that specific team. And you haven't built a relationship with that quarterback yet. You haven't had the opportunity to say, oh, I hate Eli Manning, or I hate Tom Brady. You know what I mean? Because these are, whether you love them or hate them, hate is a relationship. So you don't have this relationship with these rookies. So you don't really care that. And that I think that's a detriment. But teams aren't built. They aren't treating the quarterback position the way that they have back in the day. The reason why you got to develop these relationships with these quarterbacks before is because they were already on the squad for a couple years. They got to play here and there. You knew who they were. Now a guy gets drafted and then he's starting. And so it's just you have to remember who's going where, who's doing what. I think that is not a good thing for teams. I think it's a detriment. You guys know that I'm not a big fan of rookie quarterbacks coming in because I think if they don't do well right off the bat, that could damage their career long term. So you're just kind of used to hearing these names, you know, of somebody sitting behind somebody for a while and then coming up. Aaron Rodgers being pissed off that they drafted his replacement, while I understood his feeling about that, that is how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to get a Jordan Love when you know that your quarterback is 5 years, or 3 to 5 years away from retirement, because you want that guy to be able to step in and just take the reins and move on. So while that was a unique situation because Green Bay did everything else wrong, so that might not have been the best situation, but that's how you're supposed to do it, because it gives not only that rookie a chance to step into that position, it gives us as fans a chance to get to know him. We don't know these people. We don't have no relationship with you right now. And if you don't come out here just, acting like you are the next coming of Tom Brady, we're not going to like you. So it's just, it's a difficult situation to be in,
Yeah. Yeah, I think you brought it up perfectly. I just think that, these GMs, are not giving these quarterbacks a long enough chance because they're expecting them to be good in year 1, year 2, year 3, or they're just taking chances on quarterbacks that should not be that guy. I'm not gonna say any names because I don't want to put any pins on anybody that's in the league right now, but yeah, I think that's the case. So yeah, I agree with you. That's why I'm glad that the Saints went with a guy like Jameis Winston, who is still only 26 years old, still has a lot of career left, had a lot to prove, and played really well in the earlier years of his career on a bad team. And I like seeing situations like that happen. We see guys like it's probably a bad example, but I don't know if you guys remember, like Colt McCoy, who's a professional backup, but he's one that just did not pan out in the beginning, but remember where he was drafted, and then he's been great everywhere else he goes. He's unfortunately just a backup, but when he is called upon, he's been good. So there's a lot of situations where I just feel like it just, like you mentioned, it's just too soon for some of these rookies to expect to be great in year 1 and year 2. Sometimes it just like what you said with Jordan Love perfectly. Sometimes it just takes some time for these rookies. So I agree with your sentiment 100%. So. All right, moving on from Mr. Brady to Mr. Russell Wilson. Now, Russell Wilson he's had this beef with overtime for a long time. And he went on, I think they're calling it the Manning Cast, if that's what they're calling it on ESPN Plus. I had no idea. But he was on the show basically on Monday when they were talking over the game. It was it was actually really enjoyable. I enjoyed it. I saw half of it. I didn't watch the whole thing. But he went on there and he was talking about the overtime rule, and this is Russell Wilson's time to shine because, like I said, he has never been a fan of overtime. He hates the fact that games end in a tie. Before I read his quote, I'll let him say it himself. Here's the video of him talking about it.
So talk about overtime, the NFL overtime. We go 15 minutes, go an extra quarter or whatever, however long the extra overtime is. And then if everybody ends in nobody scores, we all end in a tie and go home. How terrible is that, huh?
The way he said it too, the way he said like how like people be talking in sarcastic. I was like, now let's talk about overtime. How we go and play extra 15 minutes, and if no one scores, then we end in a tie. How stupid is that? Like that's what he was talking about. Because like I said, Russ is not a fan of it, and he has an idea of what they should do. I remember he was talking about it. But Russell Wilson talks in such a tone where it's just like he lost me. But I have the quote here, so hopefully maybe I can say it better for Russell Wilson, which I don't think is terrible. But at the same time, I don't know if it's something that will work. But he said this, I quote for Russell. He says, I got a crazy idea. Imagine this right here. Imagine we went through the whole thing, this 10-minute overtime or whatever. Nobody scored. You come back to another coin toss, do the coin toss. The Raiders come out for a second coin toss, and they win it. So now you get to choose for one kick. Are we going to kick it, or are we going to let them kick it? You have to kick it from the 35 or maybe the 40. So basically what he's trying to say is he's A, leaving it up to a coin toss, and B, he's leaving it up to the kicker. So at least almost like soccer overtime or football overtime, depending on who I'm talking to. Because for them in tournament play, they can't end in a draw, so they'll have the penalty shootout and da-da-da-da-da. So Jackie, I don't know if you understood that, and if you don't, I can explain in more detail. But he's saying basically, after the full 10 minutes of overtime, it's a tie game. Then you flip the coin one more time. Whoever wins gets to choose whether they're going to kick or not from the 35. And if their kicker makes it, they win. Do you agree with Russell Wilson, or do you think we should keep the tie in football?
I mean, anything that prevents the tie, I'm a rock with, because
so you're not a fan of ties. Okay.
Yeah, the tie is the stupidest thing in the world. How you win a half a game? It's the dumbest thing in the world. I don't like it. And so, I mean, I don't even care if it comes out and whoever wins the coin toss the second time wins it at this point. Like, yeah. I think a tie is really moronic. And so if that's what it does, if it comes down to that final coin toss and the kicker gets to kick it, I'm cool with that. But yeah, anything that would prevent these ties, I'm with it because it
Yeah,
messes
you're with
everything
that.
up.
Yeah. I would prefer if we went the college route. Now, I don't know how many of you guys know how college handles overtimes, especially during the playoffs or during the tournament and blah, blah, blah. What they do is in overtime, they'll just have it. They'll start at the 50, and then they have a chance to score, and then the other team has a chance to rebut. And if the other team doesn't rebut, like both teams don't score, then the other team gets another chance again, and then it's first one to score wins. So I think that'd be dope. I think you just start at the 50, just have at it, and then just go back and forth until somebody is not able to score, and then you win the game. Maybe that might not be good injury-wise, but I think that'd be dope. College is able to do it. I know it's a different level because a lot of those guys aren't as good, but I think that'd be fun. It'd be everybody will be at the edge of their seat. People be waiting for a score rather than waiting for a damn kick to determine my game. I would much rather the college rule, but I don't know. For whatever reason, the NFL is not for that. I remember it was proposed years ago. They denied it, so I don't know. But I'm with you. I'm with Jackie, and I'm with Russ. Whatever it takes to get rid of the tie, I'm with that because you need to win or lose a damn game. Don't tie it up. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Kevin Lang says college overtime is raggedy.
Is raggedy? You know, I like it, man. I think at the NFL level, it would be dope. I think at the NFL level would be dope because imagine now instead of leaving it up to Suck Up and Will Lutz to win the game, it's Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers going at it, you know, back and forth until somebody wins the game, until somebody scores. So I'm with that. My man Gary told me, he said rebut. Anyways, yeah. But yeah, I agree though. Either way, I'm with you guys. No more ties. I think ties are stupid. I agree. Sticking with football, we have a bit of beef. Not real beef, but it's funny beef between two teammates, and that is none other than Kyler Murray and defensive linebacker, Chandler Jones. We had a funny back and forth where Kyler Murray was asked a question about his teammate Chandler Jones and his fashion sense and how he, you know, perceives himself, and Kyler Murray said this.
No, I expect it on Sunday. You know, he's a really unorthodox guy. You know, doesn't you know, he takes his shirt off. He doesn't look too good. No, he makes plays on Sunday. He gets after the quarterback. You know, he's one of those dudes. He's really instinctual, and he's an expert at rushing the passer. So I'm glad he's on my team. But I don't. You know, he doesn't surprise me with any of that. And during practice, he tries to take it easy.
Is that something you kind of respect? You know, because
I hate. So it's getting right there. Yeah, I hate that he retracted a little bit. I wish he just stuck with it and just, you know, taking the jab at your boy, because you knew Chandler Jones was going to say something in return, and I love it because it made me double take in his response. Made me double take, and I'm like, he won. So Chandler Jones saw this and he responded to the tweet. And he retweeted it by saying, "Somebody tell Baby Yoda the truth about his new hairdo." And all I can see now is Kyler Murray looking like Baby Yoda. That's all I see. I'm like, yep, he wins. Like, he looks like Baby Yoda. I should have got a picture of Baby Yoda put side by side. But yeah, he looks like Baby Yoda. I like the hairstyle, Chandler. Leave him alone. But yeah, the Baby Yoda thing, that was enough. That was the shot right there. Chandler wins because now all I see is Baby Yoda, right? Especially because he's short too. It's just perfect. It's perfect. Chandler wins that one. Do you see the Baby Yoda, Jackie? Do you see it? Or am I tripping?
I unsee it. It's
You
terrible.
can't unsee it, right? Yeah, that's it. So I was watching. I was putting this together, and I'm watching him do the interview, and I was smiling because all I saw was Baby Yoda up there talking. I just thought it was funny. But
I feel like I'm going to see him one day. I'm going to walk up to him and go, "This is the way." And if
this
he
is
doesn't,
the way.
respond,
Just shake his
I'll be mad.
Yo, that is hilarious. That should be their Halloween costume. He should dress up as the Mandalorian, and then he's dressed up as Baby Yoda. Come on, go full Dennis Schroder. Accept the meme, accept the joke. But I love it. That was really good from Chandler Jones. Anyway, moving on to this one. This is pretty cool. Candace Parker, we know the newest Chicago Sky member. It's weird. It's really weird saying that. I'm so used to saying Los Angeles Sparks, but yeah, she's part of the Chicago Sky now, and she's been playing pretty solid this season. But more importantly, she's pretty much getting her flowers while she's still going, while she's still in her legend, and she got a whole damn day in Chicago. I love, and according to Ariel Chambers, she's one who covers a lot of these games. Blah, blah. She said, "I love when greats get their roses. September 16 is now Candace Parker Day in Chicago. I'm so Proud of you. I love this. I think it's really cool. You know, I love when, you know, the people who give back to the communities, give back to their hometowns and stuff like that, you know, do a big part of trying to, you know, make things right, especially in the parts of Chicago where she's from. You know, they get the recognition. So I think it's really cool for Candace Parker. Definitely one of my favorite WNBA players. She's probably one of the ones that got me onto the WNBA because she's probably one of the only college players I remember watching. I was excited for the Tennessee games, you know what I mean? And then she went to LA. On top of that, literally, I never heard of a sport play the final championship game and then go to a draft the very next day. To me, I'll never forget that for as long as I live. So, you know, shout out to Candace Parker. Definitely something deserved. Jackie, do you have anything to add?
Nothing at all to add. I just need my girl to get a new suit. That old brown suit.
Yeah, you're talking about, yeah. Oh man, and smile.
Yeah, Chicago got some fashion. I just don't understand why we can't get a suit that's not brown. I just don't understand. I don't like it.
So you got nothing for Candace though? Candace over there, she looked like she just got out of practice and said, "Oh, let me take this picture real quick." Because Candace normally be on point, but it's not. She looked like she's like, you know, I'm gonna take this picture.
But even in her, I'm not so fly. She's still fly.
She's still fly, right? You right. You ain't lying. You ain't lying.
She is. Like,
you ain't lying.
I just got out of the gym. I got a sweatshirt tied around. But look at my glow. Look at my hair. Look at this smile. I'm fly. She always fly. Get it, kid.
Yeah, you ain't no lies detected. You right. But yeah, shout out to Candace. September 16th is now Candace Day, and now we know September 15th is Dennis Schroder's birthday. So now we gotta keep those two together. Gotta remember to troll one day and celebrate the next. We gotta remember. All right, so this was kind of crazy. We talked about Bronny getting a scholarship or was being offered a scholarship way too early by Duke, and we have a similar situation for Florida, who offered a middle school quarterback, and this kid's nice. He's real nice, but he's in middle school, and he was offered a scholarship from Florida. His name is Julian Lewis. There it is, Julian Juju Lewis. He he tweeted it out by saying, hashtag AGTG, blessed to receive my first offer from the University of Florida. This kid is in middle school. He's nice. I had to look him up because I'm like, hold on. I don't. You gotta be prodigy worthy to get it. And he's nice, but I still feel the type of way from a school trying to be that thirsty and going after a middle school. Like, you can't wait. Like, you ain't that confident in your program that you feel like you need to offer it now. And you can't wait until he actually gets some high school games under his belt. Jackie, I heard your exclamations in the background. Talk to me about how you feel about this, please.
He's in middle school. He hasn't even
8th grade.
Middle school football, and I don't know what it's like where he's at, but middle school football where I grew up was just a bunch of kids playing that their parents had kind of thrown in. They wanted them to play. It wasn't until you got to literally like sophomore year of school where you really saw the guys that were committed to it and really wanted to pursue this a little bit harder. People started falling off by the wayside by like freshman, sophomore year, right? So a lot of these kids is playing because they have to, you know, and they don't have, you know, other stuff. This is what their parents making them play. This is what they used to play in. People's serious level goes up in high school, and then is he gonna? I don't know. Middle school just seems too early. They just kids playing and having fun at that point. That's a little early for me because
that's very early.
I just. And I mean, the good thing about this though, and I don't know if this is like a ploy by Florida. Now the attention's on this kid, so I don't know if it's a plus or minus. Now people are going to want to watch him to see if he's worth this scholarship. So that could be a plus to make sure he's committed. But he's also a kid, so now everybody's watching you. Now maybe it's too much pressure for a kid, and now he doesn't play as well. I don't know. This is a lot for me to process. I don't like it though.
Yeah, this is a hard one for me because I feel like it did, like you just put. I feel like this also sometimes hurts the kid's development because it ends up being too much pressure. I don't care how good the kid is, and I know it's sports, it's supposed to be fun, but when you have eyes on you already at 12, 13, when you're dealing with not just football but other things, you're still dealing with homework, dealing with parents, dealing with growing up and turning into an adult. There's a lot of other things that come along with it, and then if they don't pan out, then they become a meme, and then it damages them for the rest of their life in some situations. You know what I mean? I always look at, I know as soon as I say his name, the chat's going to go meme the kid out, but I look at like Julian Newman, who was one of the, like a prodigy, like really young, crossover, all kinds of stuff. He was really good at that age, but the attention came to him too soon, and people were expecting him to be something he wasn't, and now he gets hate for not being what was expected of him. And I always feel bad for those kind of athletes, and so hopefully this doesn't affect him in Julian Lewis, but we'll see. Watch ESPN start televising his games. Watch it.
I don't even know if he's hit puberty. We don't even know how that's gonna go for this kid. Like there's a lot.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, watch ESPN televise. If they gonna televise that school that ain't even real, they gonna televise little man's games. Watch them, and it's gonna be exactly like Jackie said. It's gonna be said hut, and it's just gonna be everybody in one spot, and the little quarterback running around. Yeah, dog pile. Yeah, but we'll see. But I don't even know if I can congratulate. I just focus on your craft, bro. You got it, man.
Yep.
Your time will come. Just keep focused. Next up, I love this one. This Panthers fan. Now, you guys know I don't go too hard on Panthers fans at all because they got enough going on for themselves. I'm not a fan of the Panthers, but I leave them alone. I don't go as hard on them as I do Buccaneers and Falcons fans. They are in our division nonetheless. And I got to tell you, man, this guy right here personifies how it must be to be a Panthers fan, because look at this legend right here. TPS, the Total Pro Sports said, "What if I told you the best?" I gotta do the voice. What if I told you the best performance from Sunday's Panthers-Jets game didn't come from on the field? And it's this guy right here. You go bum, 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 and you zoom in. My man pounded about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, almost 20 beers, 20 Miller Lights. Not only is that a lot of beer, that is a lot of money because these are coming from the stadium. That has to be at the very least $8 a pop. This man spent damn near his entire paycheck. Actually, I don't know what you're doing. This man probably might be really rich, but he's sitting pretty high. But this dude drank that much. Now, mind you, yes, you are there watching a Panthers and Jets game. Your life is in the hands of Sam Darnold now. I get it. I understand it. You're watching the Jets go out there and actually give your team some struggles. So when the team is struggling, you guys struggle a little bit too by drinking damn near 20 Miller Lights. Jackie Ray, is this man a legend or is this man an idiot? I'm giving him the legend plaque because, A, it takes a lot to be a Panthers fan. Yeah, that's shade. See, I told you I'll take some shade of the Panthers. And B, that game, if you watch that game, that was a slog. That was just a mud race. It was a tough one to watch.
I feel like this man is going through something. I think
other than football.
Yeah. There's that he went there to try to get away from whatever he's going through, thinking that it would be an easy road, and then it wasn't. And then with every tragedy that happened on the field, that reminded him of the tragedy that's happened in his life. Like, I need no fear. I think he's going through something.
Johnny, keep him coming. Keep him coming. Nothing but a lot. Keep him coming.
I ain't think stronger than this. I need
stronger. Yeah, man. Rough times for my man. I'm giving him the legend plaque because, like I said, and if Jackie's right, he's dealing with something else. Yeah, man. Yeah, put more power to my guy. And last but not least, the moment we've all been waiting for. We are going to find out who the hell is going to win the Super Bowl, okay? Because, look, I'm glad Jackie's on board with me because I love this TikTok channel. This is one of my favorite. I followed them as soon as I saw the first one. This is, if you guys don't know about him, this is the treadmill guy, and he will have, like, different cars going up against each other. It's a lot of fun, and it's really intense. So right now we're going to find out who's going to win the Super Bowl. I have not watched this yet. Jackie has not watched this yet, so we're going to go through this together. Are you ready? Let's go Saints. Who that? Run it. Let's see.
Will win the Super Bowl.
All right, let's see. Where even the Saints at? Oh, we in the back. We're not going to win.
Seahawks turning sideways.
Oh, no. Look at the Ravens. Oh, and we're gone.
Not even surprised. The Steelers going backwards.
The Jaguars are staying way too pretty. The Giants are fighting. Okay.
Almost debates it, but he is out. His team didn't help.
Raiders out of here.
There's no way. Look at who's left.
Raiders in the
No way.
Kind of ridiculous.
None
the Pittsburgh are driving backwards. Look at the Pittsburgh going backwards. They can swag it.
All right. Doing good.
Yeah, he's turning it up. The Colts are trying. Oh, the stalemate. Oh, Raiders, bye Raiders. Bye Raiders. Bye Raiders. Bye Raiders. Bye Raiders. Raiders going to mess it up for the Cardinals and the Texans. Uh-oh. It's 2-2. Uh-oh, Raiders going to mess it up for everybody. Raiders about to go and do some crazy.
side up here in top 5.
This would be a boring playoff.
Back.
Oh, Pittsburgh!
But save it.
Oh, no!
Never mind. It's the
Oh,
Raiders.
no!
I'm not happy with that. I'm not happy with that result at all. No, I don't like it. I don't like it anymore. I thought I liked this guy. I'm unfollowing. I don't like it. I don't like that the Raiders won. I don't like the placement. He should have put the better teams at the top. Why the hell the Saints at the bottom? The pack, all these good teams were at the bottom, and you know the bottom team's gonna fall off first. So he should have the good teams at the top. That's my only beef.
He should redo this, right?
Yeah.
And do it by division first. So who wins the division, and then have those cars.
And then put
you know
the
what
cars. No, I like that. I like that. Yeah. And then you can have them all on an even playing field because you're just doing it by division. So it's 4 cars and put them all off the top. Treadmill guy, talk to us, man. Redo. We want to redo, and we want it done properly. We want to redo, and we want it done properly. Let me see what the chat's saying. Of course, Raiders, elevator. Yeah. How could we let the most Raiders team ever win? Yeah, people are not happy about the Raiders the same way as we are. Yeah, that's whack. I don't know.
And the Patriots did not win, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true. I'm about to say, I don't know. But yeah, all right. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The Raiders are about to win the Super Bowl, and that's what I'm not going to enjoy. Boo. But Jackie, can you tell us what we not going to do on this fine Thursday?
Let's get into what we not going to do. Y'all, this is going to be quick because I already done told this man once, and I don't like to repeat myself. But Zlatan Ibrahimovic, I have to concentrate on his name because I don't want to mess up his name. I actually like him as a soccer player or football. But I done already told this man once to keep LeBron James's name out your mouth. You don't know what you're talking about and you sound ignorant. So just so we can recap, let's look at what he said. It's just a few months ago. He hasn't even let this die all the way down. Let's go back and look at what Zlatan said. I think it was like 4 months ago, something like that. But let's take a look.
Yeah.
You like going to watch basketball?
Yeah. I liked a lot, and I mean, he's a phenomenal in what he's doing. But I don't like when people, when they have some kind of status and they go in and they do politics at the same time what they're doing. I mean, do what you're good at. Do the category you do. I play football because I'm the best in playing football. I don't do politics. If I would be a politician, I would do politics. That is the first mistake people do when they become famous and they come in a certain status. Stay out of it. Just do what you're best at because it doesn't look good.
So how about you do what you're best at and stay out my business? I mean, I'm just going to throw it out there. What I say has nothing to do with you. And if you are so small-minded that you can only focus on one thing at a time, that's a you problem, sir. Other of us can do other things at the same time. We can walk and chew gum at the same time. If you can't, that's you. That has nothing to do with LeBron. So I would just really advise you, and I advise you then to keep LeBron James' name out your mouth because you know what you're talking about. But now here you are again saying the same thing. Let me read you this quote. He says, football in my world unites people. Big difference because I have had the chance to meet and get to know people that I would have never have known if I did not play football. I have met people from all 4 corners of the world. We unite people. Politicians divide. If I wanted to be a politician, I would do politics. We should only do what we're good at. Sports and politics are 2 different categories. If you're intelligent, you understand. I think he means if you're privileged, you understand. Because this isn't an intelligence level. And I've told y'all this before. If you really think that politics and sports don't mix, number one, you're brand new to this planet and you just started watching sports. It has been intertwined since the dawn of time because it is a platform. And when you are trying to push for change, you use whatever platform you have. That's number one. Number 2, politics affect the people. People play sports. Thereby, they have a right to have an opinion about it. Now, the reason why you can say, oh, this just unites people and it brings us together is because you are not in the communities that are affected in the way that politics adversely affect those communities. You get to say, oh, look at those people over there struggling. Oh, look, I got to put a smile on their face for a little while. Now I get to go home. LeBron doesn't get to do that. LeBron is a black man in the United States of America. He has kids that are black. Those black kids have to go out into this world that is not entirely safe for them to do so. He would be a fool if he did not try to use what he has to make it better for the children that he is bringing into this world. You don't know nothing about that because it doesn't affect you. And so when you take this position, it is a position of privilege and individualism that says, yeah, I don't care about what affects you over there. Enjoy this game, though. Smile while you hear this game, though. I don't know what situation you're going back to, and I don't care. That is what you are saying, Zlatan, when you say stuff like this. LeBron is a better person. He's more intelligent. He understands that he is in a very unique opportunity, an opportunity that most of us do not have, and that is to affect real change in this country and to motivate the masses to use their political voice to do better. You don't have the wherewithal or the mindset to do that. That is a you problem. Keep LeBron James' name out your mouth, and since you're only good at football, how about you play football and say nothing else, sir, ever again? That's all I got to say about that. Chris, you got any thoughts on this one?
No, it just shows how uninformed and how much he isn't listening to what LeBron's message is. And like you said, he doesn't get it because he's not with us. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to deal with what we deal with, so he just doesn't get it. It just was not very informed about Zlatan. And it's funny because at the top of the show, I was saying I like Zlatan, and I do as a player, but this one, I completely forgot about this quote. Yeah, not a good look, not a good look. And like I said, just shows how ill-informed he is, especially when you have some time in the States and you still don't see it. I mean, you choose to see what you want to see, I guess.
And that's a very, very poignant thing. I hung out with a guy on Saipan for a while, and I would tell him these things. He was like, I lived in New York for 10 years. I've never seen any of this. And I'm like, how in the hell you lived in New York for 10 years and you don't know what stop and frisk is? When you don't know these things, it's because you are literally choosing not to see what's right in front of you. And you can do that when you don't look like us. You can choose to filter out that doesn't affect you. When it affects you, you have no choice but to deal with that. And LeBron is doing the right thing. So that's the way we're going to end this show with keep LeBron James' name out your mouth. If you ain't smart enough for politics, that's a you problem. Don't exercise your right to vote, sir. So make sure you come back on the real Friday. I thought it was Friday half the day today, but tomorrow is the real Friday. So come back. We're going to close out the week in some sort of fun fashion. We'll be back at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Make sure you follow me on all things social media at JRay the Fanatic. Follow Chris at CK2K. Exercise your voice. Use your platform. And we will see you tomorrow morning. Bye, y'all.